Right. Right. So setting your neutral as you're sitting down or as you're lying down onto the mat. If you're down on the mat, allowing the arms to come down by the side, turning the palms to face up and towards the ceiling, encouraging the shoulders to roll out to the front of the chest to open up and relax. If I'm seated, just allowing the arms to rest by the side or on top of the legs, allowing the shoulders to drop away from the head, the neck and the upper body to relax. And then once you feel that the body is settled, then noticing the breath. Notice where the breath is coming from. If I can feel it's coming from the top of the chest, so I can feel the chest moving with the breath. See if I can encourage the breath in the body to calm down. Just encouraging the breath to drop down into the belly, softening the throat, relaxing the front of the chest, the front of the neck. Softening the jaw, noticing any tension into the face, into the neck. See if I can try and let go of that tension. So almost as if I was trying to breathe it away. As I feel the body's a little bit more settled, so I feel the breath is a little bit more relaxed, I'm just going to start with a little movement. I'm going to start to bring the right ear down to the right shoulder. So I'm going to shuffle the head to one side, easing it back to the center, and then I'm going to take the left ear to the left shoulder, going the other way. And so it's a little side to side. See if I can encourage a gentle stretch down the side of the neck. Noticing one side might be feeling different than the other. One side might be a little bit stiffer than the other. I'm not forcing anything. Making sure that as the head moves and nothing seems to be pinching, nothing seems to be creating, radiating pain down into the arm or into the hand. As I feel the movement, it's a little bit easier, feels a little bit looser. Then I'm going to try and see if I can encourage a little bit more traction. So the next one, I'm going to drop the right ear down to the right shoulder and then holding it there. Think of depressing the left shoulder. So I'm going to press down with the left shoulder, reaching down with the left arm if you want to. See if I can encourage you just a little bit more stretch down the side of the neck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then easing back, returning the head back to the middle. I'm going to drop the left ear to the left shoulder and then depressing the right shoulder, pressing it down and away. Reach away with the arm. See if you can create that gentle stretch down the side of the neck. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to the center. And then same as before, I'm just going to go gently from side to side. So noticing if it feels any different, same, worse. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Bringing the head back to the middle. From lateral flexion, I'm going to go for a little rotation. So this time I'm going to turn to look over one shoulder and then turn to look over the other. As you're keeping the movement going from one to the other side, again, and noticing if the shoulders tends to move, so especially if you're sitting up, we're making sure that it's not the shoulders that are moving, it's definitely the head. So with the corner of the eye, if I look at the shoulder is not going anywhere. It's just my head that is moving on top. Again, one side might be feeling a little bit easier to turn, and then the other side. I'm not forcing anything. Just to see if I can encourage a smoother, better movement each time. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, holding it to the side. With the fingertips, I'm going to reach for the side of the chin or the side of the face, and then applying a gentle pressure. See if I can encourage the head to turn just a little bit more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease and back. Returning the head back, turning it the other way. And then again, a gentle pressure with the hand. See if I can turn it a little bit further. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then easing back. Returning the head back to the middle. And then a nice and easy rotation from side to side. So turning the head to look over the right. Turning the head look over, hey Gary, to look over the left shoulder. So nice and loose, so nice and relaxed. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. Returning the head back to the middle. And then I'm going to start mixing the two movements slightly. So this time I'm going to turn to look over the right shoulder, and then I'm going to tuck the chin in as if I was trying to drop the nose down to the shoulder. Then I'm going to lift back, I'm going to turn to look the other way, and then I'm going to drop the chin, drop the nose. Then come back, turn to look the other way, drop the chin, drop the nose, come back, turn it the other way, drop the chin, drop the nose. So noticing that gentle stretch wrapping around the neck, same as before, making sure that I'm not forcing the movement, just to see if I can encourage a better, easier movement each time. Then as I feel again, the movement starts feeling a little bit easier, a little bit looser this time, I'm going to turn the head to look over one shoulder. Tap the chin, dropping the nose. I'm going to reach with the hand to the top of the head or back of the head, and then see if I can apply very gentle pressure. See if I can tuck the chin in a little bit further, just a little bit more stretch into the neck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Turning the head to look the other way. Tucking the chin in, dropping the chin down, and the hand goes around the head, and then a gentle pressure, bringing the head down a little bit more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Turning the head back to the middle, releasing the neck. It's a little bit more movement through the neck, as if we can get into the shoulders and into the shoulder girdle and into the upper back. I'm going to start moving the shoulders forward and back. So I'm going to protract them, I'm going to pull them forward. If I'm lying down, see if I can lift them away from the ground, and then retract them. I'm going to push them back, see if I can press them into the mat. So I'm going to pull them forward, push them back, pull them forward, push them back, pull them forward, push them back. So trying to create a nice loose movement. See if you can start exaggerating that movement. So as the shoulders draw back, see if I can really push the chest forward. See if I can try and get the little extension into the upper back. As the shoulders draw forward, pushing the back of the rib cage back down into the mat. Then again, I'm going to retract and extend, and then protract and flex. Retract and extend, protract and flex. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back. Relaxing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. From extension, flexion, I'm going to go into a little elevation, depression. So this time I'm going to shrug the shoulders up to the ears, and then I'm going to press them down in a way. So I'm going to shrug them up and then press them down. So think of the neck as shortening as the shoulders come up, and then lengthening as they press down. Shorten as they come up, lengthening as they press down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. I want you to keep the shoulders depressed, so trying to think of a nice, longer lifted neck, the shoulders dropping down, the collarbone spreading a little bit wider, and then maintaining that nice longer neck position. This time I'm going to go into little rotation, pressing the arms to the front, clasping the hands together or keeping the hands apart. I'm going to start to swing the arms from one over to the other side. So see if I can encourage a nicer rotation from side to side. So I'm going to turn one way, turn the other, turn one way, turn the other, turn one way, turn the other. So if I'm down on the mat, if I'm lying down on the back, and then I can feel the shoulders are rocking side to side. If I'm seated, see if you can think of turning the rib cage from one side to face one side of the room, and then see if you can turn it to face the other side. It's nice, easy swing. Notice if the shoulders tend to shrug back up to your head, come up to your ears, and see if you can keep the shoulders down. So remember, nice longer neck, no tension into the neck. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the next one, I want you to rotate to the right. So I'm going to turn to the right, and then with my right arm, I'm just going to pull gently on that left arm. See if I can try and get myself a little bit further around. And then I'm just going to hold it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back. I'm going to rotate the other way, and then with the left hand, I'm just going to pull on the right arm. See if I can try and bring a little bit further across, a little bit more stretch behind the shoulder into the middle of the back. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. Relaxing the shoulders, releasing the back. And then from rotation, I'm going to go into a little lateral flexion. So if you're lying down on the back, you might want to support the head with one hand. If I'm sitting up, it doesn't matter, the head is sitting on top of the shoulders. I'm going to start reaching with the right hand down to the side. So I'm going to try and flex down one way. Coming back to the center, and then I'm going to flex down the other way. Coming back to the center, flexing down the other side. So these times, see if I can be aware of the back and moving sideways. So just a little release through the side. And then as you're keeping the movement going from one side to the other, imagine your rib cage on the side to get bigger. So as I flex it to the right, I'm going to picture the left side of my rib cage becoming bigger. And then as I flex to the left, I want that right side of the rib cage becoming bigger. So see if you can picture your ribs and the intercostal muscles between them. Imagine to be stretching them away from each other. So if I feel quite comfortable with the movement and I feel that I can progress slightly, then I'm going to add the arm. So on the next one, as I flex to the side, I'm going to take the arm up and over with me. See if I can create a nice stretch down the side. Then easing back and then taking the other arm with me. See if I can create a nice stretch the other way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. Hopefully a little bit more movement into the back or some movement into the shoulders too. I'm going to try and drop down into the hips, into the lower back. Starting off with a little pelvic tilt. So if you're down on the back, see if you can think of pressing the back of your hips or the lower back down on the mat. If I'm sitting on the chair, I'm going to roll back onto my tailbone, so I'm going to round the back and then coming forward and see if I can sit nice and tall over the seat bones. Then I'm going to again roll back onto my tailbone and then trying to lift the tall onto the seat bones and then rolling back again. So if you're lying down on your back, imagine a little ball in the middle of the belly. So see if I can let the ball roll towards my breastbone, and then I'm going to try and make it roll back towards the pubic bone. And then I'm going to let it roll towards my breastbone and then down towards the pubic bone. So that nice and gentle movement, think of the least amount of effort required to create that movement. So the legs are not gripping, they're not stiffening, the arms are not tensing, just a little tension around the front of the belly, allowing you to move forward and back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the back, just a little bit more movement down into the lumbar. I'm going to change the direction again, I'm going to go into rotation. So shuffling the feet and the knees nice and close together. If you're lying down on the back, opening the arms out nice and wide. And then this time, same as I did for the arms, I'm going to squeeze the legs together and then push them together off to one side. Let them come back to the center. And then I'm just going to push them over to the other side. And then back to the center. Same as usual, using the hands to help me encourage a little bit more movement if I need to. Pushing the leg across and then help me to come back. Pushing the legs the other way and then help me come back. So feeling a little rotation, this time working from the hips or working from the lower back. And coming back and then to the other side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On the next one, I'm going to take the legs to one side and then hold them there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing back, taking the legs the other way, and then hold them there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back. Returning the legs back to the middle, adjusting the hips if you feel you're slightly wonky, slightly off to one side. And then from rotation, we're going to go into a little hip hitch. So a little lateral flexion again, but this time I'm going to lead from the hips. So with the right hip, I'm going to hitch up towards the rib cage. So I'm going to try and lift my right bum cheek off the chair. I'm trying to pull it up and towards me. And then with the left, I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to try and hitch up on the right, come back, hitch up on the left, come back, hitch up on the right, come back, hitch up on the left. So see if you can think of a gentle tension coming from the side of the belly. The right side of the belly tightening, the hip hitches up, the left side tightens, the left hip hitches up. And then noticing how much easier it might be going on one side, harder on the other. Again, I'm not forcing anything, just to see if I can try and find that control, the little pull, then ease back, the little pull, then ease back the other way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the hips, adjusting the hips again, making sure that the pelvis is centered. And then from lateral flexion, I'm going to go into forward flexion. Now, if you're sitting on the chair, I want you to think of rolling down and towards the legs. So I'm just trying to flex and stretch down into the lower back. If you're lying down on the floor, you're working in reverse. You'll be bringing the knees nice and close to the chest, the stretch in the lower back, around in the lower back. Then using the hug, and then I'm going to hug the legs nice and close again. If you feel quite comfortable there, then you can lift the head too. So I'm going to try and bring the knees to the chest, and then I'm going to try and bring the head to the knees too. Then I'm going to ease back and then try it again. So think of a nice rounded shape. And then easing back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. And releasing back, releasing the legs, giving the head a gentle roll, especially as you're lying down, making sure that the neck doesn't feel stiff, it doesn't feel tight. And then I'm going to go back into the upper body, but this time I'm trying to work a little bit more into the shoulder joint. So I'm going to let the arms come down by the side, and then one arm at a time, I'm going to raise it up to the front, and then I'm going to reach it back. Then I'm going to ease that arm back, and then with the other arm, I'm going to do the same. So think of a nice raise up in front. So I'm going to raise the arm, shoulder and neck nice and loose, easing back the arm, and then I'm just going to lift it with the other. Coming back, and then lifting with the other side. So see if you can imagine the front of the armpit opening up, with the arm moving into the shoulder socket, making sure that the movement is not causing pain on my right arm, it's not causing pain on my left arm. And then if you feel that the movement, it feels quite easy, feels quite loose, then see if you can start the swapping the arms. So as the right arm comes down, the left is already moving. As the left return, the right is already gone. So one side and the other, trying to find that smooth transition between one and the other arm. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, returning the arms back down by the side, allowing the shoulders a little rest. I'm going to try and change the direction of the movement for the arm. First thing, I want to encourage a little external rotation. So I'm going to bend the elbows, and then I'm going to tuck the elbows nice and close to the side of the body, turning the palms to face towards you as if you're trying to read a book or hold a book. I'm going to keep the elbows nice and in, and then I'm just going to rotate the arms up. So imagine with your thumbs to touch the floor, to touch the back of the room if you're sitting up. Then I'm going to rotate back and then rotate out again. So see if you can be aware of that gentle rotation that is encouraging the front of the chest to open up. And then again, it's creating movement into the shoulder joint. Think of the elbows planted next to you. So see if I can avoid the elbows from swaying back, or see if I can and try to keep them close to the side, just making sure that they don't start opening out. So really trying to work deep into the shoulder socket. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the arms, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. There's a little bit more movement into the shoulder. I'm going to try and see if I can use that extra movement. Just raising the arms up to the front. I'm going to let the hands touch in the middle. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, I'm going to open the arms out nice and wide. Just to see if I can try and spread them as wide as possible, reaching to the side of the room. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to bring them close together. And then again, as wide as possible, reach into the side of the room. And then coming back. If you're sitting up, you've got more space, and there is no floor behind you. So see if you can try and open up as wide as you can. Feel a nice stretch across the front of the chest, and then I'm going to close back. If you're down on the floor, obviously the floor will prevent you from going further. So see if you can try and reach wider. So see if I can really try with my hand to touch the right side of the room, with my left hand to touch the left side. Reminding your shoulders that they need to stay down, so the shoulders are not shrugging, the neck doesn't feel as if it's gripping and stiffening up, so making sure that the shoulders are down, the neck feels nice and loose. 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, relaxing the shoulders. It's a little bit more opening across the front of the chest. I'm going to see if I can use the space that I've created to create a bigger movement with the arm now. So keeping the arms down by the side, imagine the wall behind you or the floor underneath. I'm going to start scooping the right or left arm around the side, bringing it up and towards the head. And then I'm going to take it back down the side with the left, with the other arm, I'm going to do the same. And then coming back. So if you're lying down, see if you can use the floor. So how close can I keep the arm to the floor and move it, but making sure that the movement is not causing me pain. If you're sitting up, we're trying to keep the arm swinging by the side as much as possible. If I feel that my shoulder is really stiff, I need to do that, my neck is really catching, then I'm just going to allow the arm to come slightly forward. We're still in a nice lateral swing. And then playing with the position of the hand, especially if the shoulder clicks. Sometimes sending the hand forward, sending the hand up is going to create a better fit between the arm and the shoulder. The movement will be feeling a little bit smoother. And then same as we did for the front raise. Once you feel that you've got a good movement both right and left side, then see if you can try and swap the arms. So I'm going to lower one, lift the other, lower one, lift the other, open one, close the other, open one, close the other. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Relaxing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. So there's a little bit more movement into the shoulder joint. We're going to try and see if we can focus on the hips at this time. So I'm going to shuffle feet and knees nice and close together, and then trying to focus on the hip. I'm going to start opening the right knee out to the right. So I'm going to push the right leg out as far as it will go. I'm going to bring it back to the center. And then I'm going to push the left leg out as far as they will go. And then bring it back to center. So same as I did for the little rotation earlier, I might use my hand to help me encourage a little bit more movement on the way out, and then maybe assisting a little bit on the way back. And then again, a little bit more movement on the way out, and then a little assistance to bring the leg back. If you're down on the back, exactly the same. I could use the hand onto the side of the leg to give me a little support and then help me push the leg back. But especially if you're lying down on the back, see if you can be aware of your hips staying still. So the pressure at the back of your bum should be the same. So I'm not turning my hips, I'm just trying to move the leg into the hip socket as far as it'll go, and then come back, as far as it go the other way, and then coming back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, relaxing the hips and releasing the legs. So it's a little bit of a movement in and out. What I want is a little bit of movement up and down this time. So same as before, I might use the band around the back of the leg or the hands at the back of the leg. I'm going to flex at the hip, so I'm going to lift the leg up, the foot comes up, and then I'm going to drop it back. And same with the other, I'm going to lift, and then I'm going to drop it back. Lift, and then drop back. If you're using the strap, just repeat on the same side first, and then switch the band, and then repeating on the other side. So you don't have to switch it around every single time. Same as you did for the opening and closing. See if you can think, it doesn't matter how small the movement is, but more than anything, see if I can be aware of my hip joints are moving. So it's not the whole of my body, it's just the leg moving into the hip socket. So see if I can try and release some of the stiffness or some of the tension from the hip. Encouraging a better movement to the right and a better movement with the left leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. So I've got a little bit more movement side to side and up and down. I'm going to try and get the movement to go together, so I'm going to turn them into a circle. So I'm grabbing hold of the right leg, lifting the right leg off the ground if you're lying down on the back, using the band or using the arms. And then imagine a pencil sticking out from the front of your knee. I'm going to start drawing little circles with that pencil in front of me. So I'm going to try and bring the leg across. I'm going to lift it, push it to the side, drop it, and then again around. So same as you did for the individual movement of the direction, front to back and side to side. More than anything, see if I can just try to release the tension and stiffness from the hip joint. So it doesn't need to be a massive movement. What I want is just to try to find a nice relaxed one in the hip. Reversing the circles, or trying to draw the circle the other way around. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to do the same thing with the left side, with the other side. So strap goes around the back of the leg, or hands around the back of the leg, and then I'm just going to start drawing that little circle in front of me. So round and round. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, reversing the circle, drawing the circle going the other way, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the arms and releasing the legs. This is a little bit more movement into the hip too. I'm going to try and see if I can get a little bit more connection, but this time I'm trying to work legs and upper body together. And so setting the feet to about the hips width apart, I'm just going to try and lift myself up nice and tall over the seat bones, lengthening yourself down the mat. The neck is nice and long, the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Imagine a little string that attaches your right hand to your right leg. I'm going to pull up on that string, and then I'm just going to puppet my right leg up. Then I'm going to ease back, and then again I'm going to pull on the string, and then I'm going to puppet that right leg up, and then ease back. So see if you can think of the leg and the arm moving together. Coming back, the leg and the arm moving together, and then coming back. 4, 3, see if I can pull the string a little bit higher. 2, last time, and release it back. Same thing with the left. Imagine that string attaching your left hand to the left leg. I'm going to pull the string, lift the other side. Pull the string, lift the other side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing back, relaxing the hips and releasing the legs. More connection through the front of the leg. I want a little bit more into the back of the leg. So if you're lying down, I want you to extend the legs away along the floor. And then trying to find the connection into the back of the hips, into the back of the bum. So I'm going to start a clenching. See if you can work in isolation first. So I'm going to clench my right bum cheek and relax, clench the left, relax, clench the right, relax, clench the left, relax, clench the right, relax, clench the left, relax. So see if I can try and find that isolation, that work in isolation. Noticing as I do the single tension, the hips tend to go rocking side to side. Once that I feel that I've got a good connection there, then I'm going to start clenching both sides at the same time. So I'm going to squeeze both and release. Squeeze both and release. Squeeze both and release. So this time I can just feel the hips are going up and then dropping down. Going up and then dropping down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release and back. If you're lying down on the back, I want you to bend the knees, walk the feet up and towards you. And then we're going to try one more time. This time I'm going to clench. If you're seated, imagine to be lifting off the chair. If you're lying down, think of the hips are coming away from the floor. So I'm going to clench and then trying to squeeze my way off. Come back, clench, lifting my way off and back. Clench, lifting off and back. So see if I can just create just a little bit more tension through the hips. That initial movement as if I was trying to stand up as if I was trying to lift it off the chair. If you're down on the back, as if you can try and create that nice opening into the front of the hip, as you've got that nice space in front of you. Think of your thighs reaching out of the hip socket, the front of the hips opening up, the belly still connected at the front. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the legs and releasing the hip. We're going to give the back of the leg a little bit of a stretch. So same as usual, if you've got the band, you might want to set the band around the foot, straightening up the leg, and then I'm just going to pull the leg up. If I don't have the band, I'm just going to straighten up the leg in front of me, especially if you're seated, and then I'm just going to lean forward until I can feel a gentle pull coming down the back of the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease and back, swapping the band around the left foot, straightening up the left leg, and then again gently pulling the leg towards you. Or if I'm seated, keeping the leg straight ahead and then leaning forward until I can feel a little bit more of a pull coming down the back of the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the legs, bring the hip, bring the legs back to a comfortable position, allowing the arms to relax down the side. I'm going to try and see if I can create a little bit more of a stretch going all the way through the front of the body, front of the chest. So raising the arms in front of you. If you're lying down, bend the elbows, and then opening the arms out to the side. See if you can let the forearms or the palm of the hands drop down onto the mat. To see if I can open up through the chest. If I'm seated up, I'm just going to turn my palms to face forward, encouraging the little external rotation, and then imagine with the back of your hands to touch the wall behind you. So I'm going to try and open up the front of the chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. If you're lying down, rolling over onto one side, and in your own time, pushing yourself up into sitting, finding a comfortable seated position, using the hands by the side to give a little support. Once you're happy that the hips are settled, and then focusing on the back, pushing the chest forward. See if I can let the breastbone come out of the ribcage, lifting it up and towards the ceiling, looking forward, looking up, looking back, extending through the upper back. And then I'm just going to release, letting the chin drop down to the chest, and the shoulders come forward. I'm going to roll my way forward, roll my way down, and then I'm curling back up again. Pushing the chest forward, extending your way through, lifting your way up, and then releasing back, letting the chin drop down to the chest, to the shoulders come forward, rolling your way down. Last time. Uncurling all the way back up, pushing forward from the chest, extending through the upper back, and releasing back. One hand on the belly, one hand on the back. Take your bow. Give yourself a clap of that. Any question or anything, please say. Remember, you have to